Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to each one of you for the first ever virtual annual business conference for Roche Diabetes Care India. At the outset, I would like to take this opportunity to wish you all, along with your loved ones, a very happy and prosperous 2021 with good health and prosperity. The virtual forum is a very unique experience for all of us, and I have to say the organizing committee have put together a lot of hours planning for this, and I hope you will all enjoy the content and the engagement on this forum both today and tomorrow. It also gives me immense pleasure to welcome Mr. Pedro Gonçalves, Head of Region International, to our annual business conference. Thanks, Pedro, for taking your time to give Team India the right motivation to kickstart a new year. You will, of course, just in a while hear more from Pedro. Now, before moving into 2021, let's see how we wrapped up 2020. Or should I say, the 2020 was completely upside down, not only for us, but for the entire universe. 2020 came with by far one of the most unprecedented scenarios that we have ever witnessed. However, despite the challenges, most of us rose to the occasion to bring the pandemic under control, not only as responsible citizens, but also by supporting the healthcare community and people at large with the work we do. So if I had to sum up some of the main challenges which we faced and were unprecedented, would be in 4 different buckets. Number 1, that remains high on the list, was the lockdown that we had, which was one of the toughest lockdowns across the world. This, on one hand, was the need of the hour, but on the other hand, a lot of concerns for people and companies, starting with essentials to healthcare to also suffering of many people across the board. Number 2, as an outcome of the pandemic, which we all feel sad about, is the number of cases and lives lost across the country and around the world. In India alone, we crossed more than 1 crore cases and lost more than 1.5 lakh people to the COVID virus. India did phenomenally well with not only keeping the cases in check, but also having a high recovery rate of close to 95%, which is simply amazing. And a big thanks goes to all the healthcare workers who have been working on the forefront to make this happen. Of course, there was more to come in terms of economics, and we saw GDP shrink across the countries, and India was no exception. We also in RDC India faced a very challenging March, where due to supply constraints, we lost sales to the tune of 20 crores. Thankfully, we see in many industries now the growth curve is back to the pre-pandemic times. Last but not the least, I have to say, for the corporate India, the pandemic brought us onto our knees with work from home. Many of us did like it, I have to say, but this was short-lived, as we never envisioned it to continue for so long. What we did notice that some flexibility of working could be good for the future ways of working, and what we also saw is the frustration of working enormously long hours. I think work from home is here to stay, and the way forward is going to be phygital, which means face-to-face and digital. Well, that were few of the challenges, but as I said earlier, despite these challenges, we did amazingly well, and as RDC India, it will be great to see our journey as a snapshot. And as I look back, I can recollect quite a few achievements and milestones that we have approached in 2020. We started the year 2020, if you all remember, with a strategy to build integrated personalized diabetes management under 3 commercial pillars. One was to grow with innovation by differentiating AccuCheck with both hardware and digital solutions launch. Second, to evolve the organization to create operational efficiencies. And lastly, to invest in market access, thereby ensuring access to care for people with diabetes. Now let's look at the achievements across these pillars. For the innovation part, happy to share that we engaged more than 9,000 users with our MySugar app. 86,000 instant meters were placed and guide connected meters was launched earlier last year, making sure we have the best connected devices now available across channels. Interestingly, we also had the opportunity to introduce our Roche Diabetes Care platform in the pilot stage during the pandemic, which our doctors loved, as it had a seamless connection between patients and the doctors. Last but not the least, true to our IPDM strategy, we introduced the bundle solution of coaching and devices with Wealthy, where we had 8,000 users currently. One learning from the pandemic is that mindset of the people with diabetes is changing, and we as a company can do more to engage customers with our innovative IPDM portfolio. So the message here is that we could do more in the area, as this will remain our unique proposition for people with diabetes. Moving on to the second strategic pillar of evolving the organization, I am again very happy to say that we started with the vision of implementing hybrid strategy in East Zone, and I am very proud to share that this team achieved an index of 111% and a growth of 35%, one of the highest in the entire organization. This built a strong testimony for us to take it forward to the West team, and well ahead of time in July to the entire team. This was the most strategic element, as all products now started getting promoted by one single team. In the pandemic time, we reached out to more than 6,000 physicians, covered 19,000 doctors through webinars, and most importantly, we were able to service the requests of patients with the already focused retail team. My compliments to all of you all for this wonderful feat, which will prepare RDC India for the future launches like Solo and CGM. Last but not the least, we venture as a responsible company towards bringing true relief to everyone, and hence market access initiatives like screening, education and awareness were very important. Happy to share with you that we collaborated with Maharashtra government for underprivileged kids, and you will hear more in this collaboration going forward. On the awareness front, we launched the Diabetes program with NGOs to ensure diabetes awareness is created amongst children, and we have reached 2,000 kids in many schools across the country. Lastly, we partnered with Fable Care. The Fable Care platform is specially designed to create a holistic ecosystem of care for women with gestational diabetes and associated risks like pre-eclampsia and high blood pressure. Through this partnership, women with GDM using AccuCheck meters will now have access to healthcare practitioners to monitor their diabetes closely and make necessary therapy titrations via the Fable Care app. This helps improve clinical outcomes and leads to deliveries with fewer complications. Now team, these strategic initiatives gave numbers that were beyond our expectation. Let's now take a glimpse at some of these numbers. A milestone that we achieved last year was that we sold 1 million meters. That also translated into 311 million strips in volume. With the launch of IPDM portfolio, we are able to now take our IPDM penetration to 9.2% and hopefully envisioning to double it in this year. Thanks to all of you for your stupendous efforts, that with all this we clocked an achievement of 102% and a growth of 12%, amounting to 419 crores for the year 2020. A big round of tsunami wave of claps from me and the entire leadership team. Extremely proud to have this team. We believed in ourselves and went out and just achieved what seemed a bit impossible in March 2020. My sincere thanks to all of you all. Now team, these strategic initiatives gave numbers that were beyond our expectation. Let's now take a glimpse at some of these numbers. What happens internally also reflects externally. And I have to say, with all the challenges, we were able to achieve a market share gain of 6.2% YTD as compared to last year, which is again a phenomenal achievement. Thanks a lot. These are great achievements, especially during a pandemic. I have said this before, and I don't mind saying it today as well. This achievement is only because of you. It's not because of things that are difficult that we do not dare. It's because we do not dare that they are difficult. I can proudly say that this is one team that dared to take on a difficult challenge and came victorious. My sincere thanks with folded hands. Well, 2020 is now behind us, and we are all set for a new year 2021, which might have a bag full of its own challenges and opportunities as well. I would like to spend a few minutes talking about what we envision to do in 2021. Like always, we have to remember our vision remains unchanged, which is by 2025 we will help people with diabetes everywhere think less about their daily diabetes routine so that they can get true relief day and night. And with this, our ambition will also remain the same, to make India diabetes care capital of the world. And in doing so, we will follow our strategy of integrated personalized diabetes management, where we will offer holistic, patient-centric diabetes management solutions to bring true relief. And with our connected devices, we will leverage our digital solutions, which can be personalized to limit the progression of diabetes and improve patient outcomes. With IPDM, we will unite with stakeholders like HCPs, patients and payers to collaborate and enhance the way diabetes is treated. In doing so, our aspiration therefore will be to be the #1 integrated personalized diabetes management company in India, which means we will maintain our #1 position in BGM market, become a meaningful player in IDS with the launch of Solo, and prepare ourselves for the launch of CGM, drive market growth by enhancing the penetration of SMBG, expand our customer base through phygital solutions and partnerships, streamline legacy portfolio and upgrade to Gen 3 portfolio, and finally to be the engine of growth for Region International. So then the question remains, how can we achieve our vision, strategy and aspiration? For this, I invite you to think beyond and join me in unveiling our theme for 2021.
Bring it,
So as you've just seen, our theme for 2021 is Go Beyond. As a team, we will go beyond what we envision to do because limits exist only in the mind. In doing so, we will again have 3 renewed pillars to success, which will help you go beyond to engage, inspire, and evolve RDC India. So what are these 3 pillars of success? The first pillar says that we will go beyond selling BGMs and engage people with diabetes with IPDM solutions and reach 8.5 million people with diabetes by 2025 from a current base of 4.2 million people with diabetes. The next pillar says that we will go beyond market growth and inspire each other to deliver a growth of 20% CAGR to become a 1,000 crore company by 2025. Lastly, the third pillar says that in doing so, we will go beyond fixed mindset and evolve agile ways of working by being entrepreneurial, collaborative, and having a growth mindset. You will hear more of this from our leadership team tomorrow. And now, I would like to invite Pedro Goncalves, our head Region International, to share with us his perspectives of Region International, the directions and expectations from Team India. So over to you, Pedro, and thanks for joining us.